Okay, Councilmember Hilton.
Do you want me to put my name in there?
I'm sorry?
Do you want me to put my name in there?
No, that's fine.
Thank you, Harjo, for the presentation. Can you talk real briefly about the business license, how we're at 118%? Is that, I want to hear more in depth, and maybe Jimmy can knock on it. Is that a trending sign that we're doing well in expansion of businesses, or is it current?
It'll likely be a combination of both, but if you refer back to the staff report that in the narrative section, I indicated that the business licenses are strictly tied to the timing of the annual renewals. There's both of the renewals occur primarily in the first half of the fiscal year, so the revenues, certainly folks start renewing their business licenses early on in the fiscal year, so all the revenue gets recognized. However, there are businesses, again, for those that renew in November, December, there is a component they pay for one full fiscal year. So at June year end, we do a accounting treatment called deferment of revenues for the portion of the period that's going to go into the next fiscal year. So likely, while it states 118%, yes, there's going to be some deferment that's going to happen, so the number will likely come down. However, I'll again state that as we're kind of coming out of the pandemic and those more folks are getting back into the business action, we are seeing increased applications.
Okay. And then my other question was, and I brought this up last year when we talked about the position control when we approved the budget, and that it's referring back to a study that the police department did on public safety dispatchers and the need to add additional public safety dispatchers. So what I'm asking, I asked then and I'm asking it again, is does staff still feel that we have adequate public safety dispatchers to cover the increased calls for service and needs for both fire and police?
Unfortunately, I wouldn't be the best person to answer that. I would have to refer to our public safety department heads to answer that question. And we can likely follow up, after we have a conversation. Jimmy, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, excuse me, Mr. Hilton, we will be returning to council as the mid-cycle, and we'll be looking at priorities for positions. I can assure you some of the adjustments we've made with dispatchers for compensation that have been out of the labor cycle have been a reflection of our need to retain, and also awareness that the market is not real good for those kinds of positions. But to further answer your questions, do we have enough? Most likely we'll have to look at that because we know the service calls are going up, and so I can expect you'll hear something at mid-cycle if our police chief has identified that as an area he feels is a priority for staffing adjustments.
Thank you, and I have one final comment, and that's just to cause concern that we're already at 68% of the fire's budget, and I know you said that has to do with overtime, but if recruitment is a hard thing, then maybe staff should look at incentives to hire firefighters here. 2% at 57 is one of the worst in the state. So recruitment based on the retirement, the package that we're giving is not comparable to anywhere around us. However, there are agencies that do incentives to try to work around something that doesn't have to do with retirement, but whether that's a signing bonus. There's departments doing all sorts of creative stuff, and I'm pretty sure that our HR is familiar with that as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.